Today we get to review Dale Merchant's collection, the greatest exhibition in the world. This is published by Snowdell Design and designed by Sammy Lasco. Plays 2 to 4 players in around 20 to 60 minutes. And this is a competitive deck building game. And you are going to be different animals that are merchants, and you're trying to build up your merchant style by trading goods, doing techniques, various things.
Sounds good. So let's go ahead, take a look at this game, and then we'll come back up with our thoughts.
Dale Merchant's collection is a standalone game and is also fully compatible with all other games in the Dale Merchant series. You can freely mix and match Animal Folk decks and other content between the games for increased variety. There is also enough room in this game's box to store the content of all other games in this series as well. This rulebook has a nice layout of everything that fits within this box. So the Dale Merchant's collection, Beaver expansion, and Dale Merchants 1, 2, and 3. If you want more of an overview of how to play Dale Merchants, go ahead and check out our review on our channel that we've done on Dale Merchants 1, 2, and 3. And in this video, we're going to talk more about what is inside of the collection box. Dale Merchant's collection has some great organization, which I really appreciate. There's a nice rule book, which tells you how to play. Also, this nice Animal Folk index, which lists all the different animals that you can play. And has lots of storage here for Dale Merchants 1, 2, and 3, and the new content that comes within this box. So like I said, you can store Dale Merchants 1, 2, and 3 content. So I even have the rule books for 1, 2, and 3 in here, and all of the boards. There's boards, and there's also a new one that comes with this game. And then all the dice get stored here, and you got new tokens with the collection box and some coins here. And you can have all the animal decks stored in one location, which is really nice. And there's this nice filing system, so you can easily see and find what animals you want to play with. Now let's go over a few things that this Dale Merchants collection offers. So there are these deck selection cards, which has every Animal Folk in all the games listed here. And you can use this to kind of pick what animals you want to play with. So for instance, the hares, it basically kind of tells you what each Animal Folk is like. So this one is making predictions, and you'll be rolling a dice, so there's more randomness, and they have different levels of complexity and some other things. So you can kind of look through each animal, and it gives you details. And so you can go through and pick which ones you want to play with, or you can even make it random and just deal out which ones you need to play with. There are also specialty cards. These have different uses, which are always explained on the character cards or on the specialty cards themselves. Another big addition of the Dale Merchants collection are these character cards, which are really large cards, and there are tons of them to play with. And these will give you different abilities and effects while you play the game. So let's just look at a couple here. Really cute graphics as well. And there are just lots of them. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Oh, he's one of my favorites. Look at him, he is so cute. And there's also different levels of complexity as well, if you want to start a little more simple with character cards or get more complex as well. This collection edition also comes with coins, tokens, and a clock that some animal decks will be using. This collection edition also can be a standalone game because it comes with its own 8 animal decks. So you have the penguins here, the giant pangolins, you have tuatras, black-headed gulls, wood turtles, mongooses, Tasmanian devils, and long-winged tombats. And as previously mentioned, there is a really nice Animal Folk appendix that comes with this collection edition that lists out all the different animals and what they do, and there's also a nice keyword reference on the back. So I really enjoy having this collection box. I really like that I can fit everything in here, and this has new content in and of itself. So this by itself is a standalone game, and I really like that. But there's also tons of space in here and made for fitting all the content. And I just love how there is a lot of variability. There are so many different animals in here. It's insane how many different animals there are. But I love it. I love that it's all nice and organized in there. It fits, everything fits in here so well. And I love all the different dividers. I can see all the different animals I might want to play with. And then you have the selection cards, the deck selection cards, where it's just basically all summarized real quickly. You can kind of figure out, do it kind of randomly who you're playing with. There's also the booklet that kind of briefly explains all the different animals. So if you want to do less interaction or less randomness with the ones that roll dice, you can kind of pick and choose what you want. And there's so much variability in here that I really like that. So there's because I don't like a lot of the ones where there's a lot of interaction. But there are a good amount that don't do that. So there's even variability if you want to exclude some types of play, like interaction and that type of thing. So what did you think overall about this game, Dale Merchants
So for me,
Collection?
I'm a fan of the artwork. I can tell you
Oh my
that.
gosh,
so
it's
the
amazing.
artwork with all the animals and just the way that it's done looks amazing. It's just really, really nice. So I'm on board with the artwork. Now, typically I like deck building games, but I prefer deck building games that have pretty simple text on the cards. And these cards, it seems like the majority of them have 3 or 4 lines of text with complicated things on them that I have to kind of decipher. And that's not my kind of game. I don't love trying to work my way through every single card and try and figure out exactly what it means and then figure out what to do with it. That bugs me. I prefer simple things, simple mechanisms, simple instructions on a card, and then play it and it's good. So for me, that's the thing that kind of bugs me. I generally like deck builders. I think the way that the game plays is really good if you like to read a lot of text on a card.
I might differ with you a little bit. I don't think it's a crazy amount of text to read. But from what you're used to like the ones you like are Star Realms and Clank. Those are extremely basic, like just a couple things on the card.
Very simple and.
But there's a good amount of deck building games and card games that have text. This is, in my opinion, not tons of text, but for what you're used to,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Overall, I like this. I like Della Merchants. I love all the different animals. Like I said, the variability. I like the gameplay. I really like the things that this collection box added. I really like the character cards. Of course, Justin doesn't like the character cards because that's just more reading.
It's added complexity.
More complexity. But I really liked that addition. That made it more enjoyable for me. And there's so many different character cards. It's crazy. I'm just so amazed at how much content or how much thought was put into this game. Yeah, so the character cards, and then you have these new abilities with some of the new animal decks that deal with coins and these tokens, different things you can do. So I definitely enjoy the collection for sure. I prefer playing with the collection material and, of course, the animal decks from Dale Merchants 1, 2, and 3. But I'm just happy with this. I'm happy that everything is in here.
Nice and neat.
Yes. Any other last thoughts about this game?
I don't think so. I think it's a good game. For me, it doesn't quite work, but I know that for a lot of people, it will.
Yes, a lot of people will like this game. If you like deck building games, and especially you like animals, this is definitely one to check out. I mean, if you don't like reading a couple lines per card, or three or four lines per card, then you probably won't like this one. It's more on the lighter end of deck building. It can be pretty short, especially if you're playing with a couple people. You're just trying to get that 8th stall. It can be a pretty short game. So definitely recommend this one, in my opinion. That's Della Merchants Collection. Now, we didn't do a more detailed how to play because we have already done that with Dale Merchants 1, 2, and 3 on our channel. So we'll leave a link in the description below where you can watch a little more detail about how to play the base game. We went over more about the differences in this collection box. So that wraps up our thoughts, and we'll see you next time, guys.
See y'all.